G'day, and welcome to my first vintage survival playthrough on Szpakowo. We're starting with a bit more equipment than you usually would. Got our harvester, sprayer, seeder, and tractor. And we're just going to have some fun. There's a new big update for Farming Simulator coming out in November. That includes fishing, so figured what better time to jump in, try out some new things I haven't tried before, and get into the game. So, as I said, we're starting with our tractor, trailer, cultivator. We've got a harvester, a seeder, and a sprayer. We also own a few pieces of land. This is me making sure everything was working. So, we have this plot of land here, plot 63. We own plot 67, which I believe has already been harvested. Yep. So that's just an empty field. We obviously own this plot of land that we've built our little homestead on. We own plot 79, which has canola in it. And we own plot 134, which has wheat that is all ready to harvest. So, first episode, we're going to be harvesting. Let's get into it. We'll take the harvester over to the wheat field behind us. We'll get her started. Could we just drive through that creek? Yeah. We'll reverse backwards. Go straight through the creek. Not going to hurt anyone. And we'll start harvesting. Let's get her going. So there's going to be a few rules, but nothing dramatic. For example, we cannot use any equipment that was built after 1999. So it's everything from before 1999. No loans or leasing. We're not going to be doing any of that. There is no GPS, so I'm going to have to do all the field work manually, which is going to be tough for me. That's a big thing for me in this. And we can do contracts for a little bit of extra money, but we need to own the equipment. So as of right now, if there was a mowing contract, I wouldn't be able to do it as I don't have a mower. So we're just going to get our work done. As I said, this episode's going to be mainly harvesting the few fields we have and then seeing where we're at. I've got it set to 1 day for each month at the moment. We might change that. We'll see how we go. But at the moment, I think that's all we're going to need to do. That shouldn't be too much trouble with what we've got at the start. So, welcome on in, and I hope you have a great time with it. I might set you off on a little time lapse now, as I'm not one for talking too much. So I'll set you on a time lapse. I'll do my best to keep the camera as steady as I can, because I know that that's a big thing sometimes. But there's also trees. So I'll see you on the other side of this time lapse when this field is harvested. are back at the canola field now. I've just realised I've parked the combine in an awful spot. So we're going to empty out the last of the wheat. You may have noticed in the middle of that, I went and upgraded the trailer. I realised my error. I initially had planned to start this series with a different harvester, and that only had a 2,000 litre fill limit, which is why the smaller trailer would have been fine. But I decided just before recording that I didn't like how it chopped the straw, so I changed my mind. Hopefully I've made a better choice. I mean, I definitely have. I definitely have made a better choice. So now we'll get harvesting this canola, see how much we get. At the moment, it's showing a good amount of yield. One thing that I have turned off in this series is precision farming. So we'll still need to fertilise, we'll still need to lime, I believe. But we won't have the in-depth data that we might get in other series or other ways of playing. So easier in a way, but more wasteful, I would say, because instead of maybe using less fertilizer, less lime, more fertilizer, more lime, we're just going to use the amount we're going to use. There's no sort of adjusting. It is just the amount that we use, that's what it is. So hopefully that works out alright. I'm yet to really dive into precision farming anyway. I've used it a bit, but I'm not really very good at understanding how it works. So we should have a bit of fun with this one. Canola yield is looking fantastic at the moment. I believe it is selling for just under $1,000 per 1,000 litres. So it's a very, very good price. I hope the time lapses have been alright. I'm not one for talking a lot. I sort of don't really know what to say and am not very educated on Farming Simulator, so I can't talk about future plans, this and that. A lot of in-depth things that other content creators talk about. But I'll be trying my best to explain what I'm doing. Hopefully at the end of this harvest we can buy maybe a lime spreader would be good. We've got the sprayer that does herbicide and fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. Our seeder also applies fertilizer when it's seeding, so that's a benefit. But we might buy a spreader that does fertilizer and lime, just for that second fertilizer application, and obviously the lime when we need to. I do have periodic ploughing turned off, so we don't have to plough the fields. I might turn that on. We'll see if it will add anything to the gameplay. If there's any suggestions of things that you think would be good to add or certain rules to implement, I'm all ears, guys. But this is also not meant to be a challenge. It's just meant to be an enjoyable farming simulator playthrough in a style that I've never really tried before. I'm aiming to do an episode a month, or sorry, each episode will be a month in game, so the 2 times speed is alright, but I might speed it up a fraction. It might be too slow at the start because we don't really have much to do, but let me know your opinions on that, or if you don't mind if the same month bleeds into a couple of episodes. Maybe halfway through episode 2 we skip into September. I don't really like skipping months completely, but if there's nothing to do, I guess there's no other option really. For example, the winter will probably be pretty dull. So we'll see where we're at the end of this. We're going to have just over a full tank of canola. We even get to the end. We were all right. Let's just get it started. There it is. We'll open that, even though we can't do anything. Oh, now we'll go sell the wheat, what's left of the wheat, come back and fill up on canola. I'll see you at the grain mill, guys. Alright, back at the grain mill. Finally done with selling the wheat. Open that trailer, dump it all out. That should be another, give or take, 1,800 I would think. Not too bad, not too bad. Yep, just under. Beautiful. Now we'll go pick up the canola. I guarantee it's going to be just over a full trailer load of canola, which is unfortunate, because if it was a slightly bigger trailer, again, I mean, I'll take the extra yield. That's great, it's extra money, but it means more trips. I hope you don't mind the time lapses. Again, if it's too many time lapses and you'd prefer some jump cuts, just let me know and I'll work on it. I'm just making the stuff that I like to see. I'm more of a time lapse enjoyer than a jump cuts all over the place. But I understand a lot of people aren't like that. I also try to keep the camera movement to a minimum while I'm doing that, which means sometimes trees get in the way. That first field, I think I might have to cut those trees down just for visual appeal, so that everything looks nicer. But we'll work on that when we need to. Right now, we're doing alright. I was just going to drive through that field, but I chose not to. I'll just skim the corner. Get under there. Start the engine. Look at all those canola seeds. You'll love to see it. I think the trailer now holds 3,800 litres. or 3,800 litres. But we'll deal with that when we need to. Yeah, so 3,500 is only 92% full. So we're definitely going to get more than 300 litres in this last bit, I think. Maybe not. I feel like we're going to get 305. That's my guess. 305 litres of canola just to make it awkward. Oh no, we're going to come in well below. That's good then. Oh, it's going to be close. Wow, what a guess. That's great for a guess. Unfortunate that I'm going to have to do 6 litres of canola. Where are we selling it? Canola. Oh, the price is still going up. So we could leave it for a little bit and maximize our money. We'll go put the 300 litres in there. And then we'll leave the 6 in the harvester just as a little extra bit. It might take more. No. That's awful. So we'll take the combine back. We'll park the combine up. Because we do not need that for the rest of the year. Other than if there's a harvesting contract. Let's have a look. There is. For canola. We'll keep. It's not worth it, I don't think. Because we only keep 200 litres. Which will be $200. I mean, it all helps, but I don't think that's worth it for my time. I want to get some cultivating done and start maybe putting some seeds in. I'll get this combine parked up, bring the trailer back, and then, well, we might start cultivating those fields just so then we can see where we're up to. Or I can keep the canola in the trailer until next month. That's an option. It's not ideal. In real life it wouldn't work. But in farming sim it might. What am I doing? There we go. There we go. Engine off. And back to the tractor. So we could just leave the canola in the trailer. We might just leave it up here. Or where is the sell point? So then I know. Oh, the zoo is probably where we'll go. Where is that? Right there. Maybe we just go leave it at the zoo. Or do we just sell it and get a quick near $4,000? I think we park it up. Disconnect the trailer. go get our cultivator. I don't think I actually need to cultivate with the seeder I have. I'm fairly sure the seeder I bought says it doesn't need cultivating beforehand, which, if that's the case, I messed up. But we'll do a double check before I start anything. This is also our field here. This is our field of barley that was harvested before we bought the land. Oh, we can untag the zoo. So we'll get ourselves moving. I'll double check the seeder. So I bought, I think it was this one. Yep, so we can just plant. Cool. What do we plant? Do we want to put some canola in somewhere? I feel like putting canola in that field right there, purely because it's a little bit bigger. Oh, there we go. So I feel like we might put some canola in this field. Does it need... It's got weeds growing, that's good. And it needs lime. Let's just have a look. Okay. So it does need lime, and it's not fertilized. I think everything needs lime. Oh no, my canola doesn't. But all my other fields do. Okay. Well, I say we just get started. Get this canola in the ground. And then we might start on doing more things. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. Now, I'll just do a double check that it is... Oh, it says it's applying fertilizer. No, it needs... Hey, there we go. Alright, well that's what we'll do. Oh, she's struggling. She's struggling up this little bit of a hill. There we go. Now, the no GPS is going to make this an awful thing to watch. But it's what we're doing. So I'll try my best to keep it clean. But I can't promise anything. And I will probably go over myself many times just to make sure that everything is covered with canola. It's not using that much fertilizer though, which is good. So we'll get the canola in. I might put some barley or some oat in one of the other fields. But right now it's going to be canola in this one. Oh, that was a big hook. Okay. Straighten her up. Drop her down and away we go. There we go. Once we get started, she's alright. It just does not like that first initial pull. So we also need to buy a roller. But we might keep that for next episode. just do this little bit here. There it is. Yeah, so there are little spots that I'm missing, but that's okay. I'll go around and clean everything up at the end. Just get this top of this headland done. And then I guess we can just start going up and down. So I'll finish this and then I'll see you over at one of my other fields. We'll decide to either put in some wheat again, another field of canola, or we might look at something else. But I'll see you over there, guys. So this might be the other canola field. Might do this one just because they're close by. So that was just a momentary thought, that because they're right next to each other. If we just plant canola in both, then it's all right here. So we'll get this one done. We'll look at the price of canola and see where we're at with that. It's gone up a little bit more as the hours go by. That's also another reason why I might put the time up to 3 or 5, because if the price of what we would make changes a lot over the course of the day, that could benefit us. But I also don't want to... Tractor's struggling. There we go. I kind of also don't want to make it too easy and then saving everything for the end of the day, which is probably not what I'm going to do anyway. All the rules and the settings that I've got set up that are different or base settings for what we're doing will be listed in the description, so if you're interested in that, that's where they'll be. But it's nothing drastic. We're on normal difficulty. My controller just stopped working. Oh, it's an AI worker. Oops. Now, AI workers. Good segue, me. AI workers are okay, but again, they have to be doing my work. I'm not going to be able to send them on a contract. And I might also just want them to be there to, say, transport goods. So selling the canola, for example, is what I might get the AI worker to do. But doing generic work, I'm going to try to keep that as much as I can as myself, with no GPS, which, as you would have seen in that time lapse on the other field, caused some awful ways of me figuring out of how to do that field. So I apologize in advance if that sets people off. I understand. I too like everything to be clean and crisp and done proper, but it's not the way we're doing this playthrough, so I can only apologize. Good amount of seed being kept in this seeder, and really not using a lot of fertilizer either, so you cannot complain about that. Get this field finished, and then I'll look at what else we can plant either this month or next month. And then we might even see if there's a cheeky little contract to do to end the episode. So a couple more runs down on this, and we should be completed. Oh, I think it's just going to be too wide for one more pass after this. That's unfortunate. But so far so good. If you've made it this far into the video, I hope you're enjoying it. You can like, subscribe down below, comment anything you might want to see, any mods that you can suggest of vintage style equipment, or any older equipment that you know about or that you've seen. There's certain things that I've been looking at that they don't have years, so we just have to play it by ear with them specifically. For example, there's a few planters, that they don't look vintage, but apparently they are, or they're made by Blizzard, so you can sort of never really truly trust it. I do have a mod installed that shows me the years of vehicles and equipment where it's able to, and it says those planters are from the 70s or something like that, 70s or 80s, which I don't know, I don't believe it, but that's what it says, so that's all I can go by. Okay, that's that done. This isn't our land, but we'll just park here for 2 seconds. Alright, so we have 2 fields of canola in their first stage of growing. They both need rolling. They both need lime. And there's sort of nothing else. Okay. Now, we could do barley tomorrow, or next month, sorry. Can't do oat until March. We can't do... So we've got wheat, or canola, or barley. I might put some wheat down, and then maybe by the time that grows... Well, actually... What's better? They both have the same price, don't they? Really? Wheat actually goes more expensive. Hey, the canola's gone up a little bit. Yeah, so... So we can wait and put barley in. Oh, we can also put barley... What? Barley in March and April. Okay. I think we'll put wheat in. Oh, we can do wheat in March and April as well. Okay. We'll put some wheat in. And then we'll check for contracts. See if there's anything reasonably quick. Where is my field? Way away. So we'll see if there's any contracts. Maybe we just get the seeder there ready to go. Trailers there, ready to sell. Might get the seeder ready to go. See if there's... There we go, we've got it ready on wheat. See if there's anything contract-wise that we might want to do. But this is first episode. So let's have a look. We have some harvesting. We've already looked at that. That was canola. Got fertilizing. We don't have a fertilizer spreader. We could do a bit of deadwood. That's an easy $1,500. Mowing, we don't have a lawnmower. Spraying we could do. That's not bad. That's a big field. We don't have a tedder. We don't have a weeder. We could use a weeder, but we don't have one. So I'm feeling like we might take the spraying contract. Do that one. Remove the weeds by spraying it with herbicide. Let's see. There we go. It keeps turning to my keyboard instead of my controller. We will accept the contract. What field is it in? Field 245. Where is that in relation to us? Very far away. Oh no, not that far. Down there. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll leave the seeder there. We'll head on over. Get our sprayer. Which, unfortunately, I believe it's going to probably use all of the herbicide that we have, which means more money gone. But it's fine. So I'll go pick up the sprayer and I'll head over to that field, check out how big it's going to be, how much herbicide we're probably going to use, and I'll see you over there. Alright, we are here at the field. I don't know where, there we go. Oh, that's a bad sign. But we're here. I don't know if this is going to work or not, because I've got the herbicide in the tank as opposed to, I know that the actual sprayer arms have their own. Alright, that's unfolding. Okay. It says I need to fill the tool. No, it doesn't. I'm assuming it's filled. Okay. This is a learning curve. So, we are going to... I don't know what that does. So we're going to just give it a go. See what it does. So far so good. Not too shabby. It's got a great working width. So these sorts of... Not a big field, I guess, by any means, but big enough that it might make you think twice about going through it with a little weeder. But right now we're doing okay. Just go this way now. Wasted a couple of litres there. But that's all good. That's all good. Already a quarter of the way through. And we've only used 140 litres. That's awesome. I see this being a very easy $2,000. Turn it off while we reline up. And then we'll make our way back down. And don't hit the crucifix on the tree this time, Brendan. There we go. This is good. I wasn't sure how this was going to work. I'm glad I can just have the tank full. That's a good result. I was worried that that was going to not work and I'd have to change the setup. We crashed into the tree. Okay. Let's just sort it out. Relax. There we go. Turn it back on. Just go this way. Start doing our lines. Halfway through already. It's great that you can see where you've been. That's a feature I like. I know with fertilizer and things like that, you have to kind of just look at the ground and hope you can see the difference when you're not using GPS anyway. But this is a whole new experience for me, so far it's going great. I've never used the herbicide sprayers. I've always just used the weeders or the hose. So this is good. Three-quarters of the way through. And not even a quarter of our herbicide has been used yet. That is fantastic. And that's with me not being very good at organising where my sprayers are going. There is one other fantastic little feature about this sprayer, which is the ability to adjust the working width. Yeah, so I can turn that off now. I didn't realise I had the helper up. I know it's not a big deal, but it's nice not to have it just sitting up in the corner. Oh, we won't need to adjust the working width. Oh, we can probably get away with one. Yeah, look at that. And it uses just a little bit less herbicide. But we won't even have to go all the way down this strip, I don't think. There it is. Fold it back up and make our way back to the farm. I do usually like to finish the contracts or finish the fields off. I know it's not a necessity, but it is something I crashed into the fence. It is something that I like to do. I hate seeing an empty patch, but then I do know that if I go to contracts, quick autosave, and I collect, it's done. It does fill it all in. So, not the worst scenario. And that's brought us up to just over $7,000. It's a good amount of money. There's nothing we specifically need to buy right now. So we're just trying to get a little bit of money up. A silo would be great. It might be worth checking out if I can buy a silo or construct a silo. But we'll have a look when we get back to the farm and drop our sprayer off. I don't think there's any spraying contracts. Any new ones. There's a lot more harvesting contracts. That's a big field. Well, that was 4.72 hectares. How big's that? It doesn't say. Because I don't own it. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to get this back. See if we can get a silo. I doubt it. I think the cheapest one is 10. Which if we sold the canola we could get. But again, it's pointless if we don't have anything to put in it. So I don't think there's any fields we can buy for the money. That would be worthwhile anyway. But we could do a few harvesting contracts and then see where we're at. I also don't want to do just contract after contract after contract. I know that I could, and I know that it's guaranteed money, but I kind of want to break things up a bit with what we're doing. That's why I chose the spraying contract, because I hadn't done it yet. I probably will be doing some spraying on our own fields once we get the first level of harvest. They do need to be rolled, but I don't think I can get a roller today. It's only the first episode, so I'm okay with losing a little bit of yield by not rolling. What is that patch in that field? What is that? There's no way that little bit got missed. Oh, it's weeds growing, is it? No. It's just a texture. Oh, it is wheat. The hell? Where is it? Where did the other bits go? Oh, they are wheat. Huh. Okay. Well then, that's unfortunate. But I'm not going to do anything about it. It's nothing worth dealing with. A couple of pixels of old wheat in a field of canola will be fine. So park. I crashed it. Park the sprayer up. Have a look at what the canola is. Worst case, we keep the canola in the trailer and sell it in September. Oops. but we'll see. Let's have a quick check. So canola's gone up to 1,015. I've got 3,806 litres. So that'll be almost $4,000. We can buy... I don't even have any rollers we can use. So that's not a thing. We can get a fertilizer spreader for lime. And we could lime. Oof. 5,000, hey, for the biggest one. Huh. I think we might have to sell the canola. Yeah, I think we might sell the canola. And then we'll see where we're at with what we want to do. So what's this? Yeah, 50% fertilized isn't bad. But we're going to use a lot of lime. That's the trouble. So I think we'll sell the canola. We'll buy the fertilizer spreader. Or the lime spreader, really. Get the lime. And then we will... Yeah, I don't know. Let's sell the canola first and see what we're at. It should put us comfortably over 10, I think. But I don't think we can buy fields with that amount of money. Because how much are these? Oh, that's 15. That grass one, that's got the house, that's 28. That's 12. That's 16. I don't think there's any really small fields. That is 135. Oh. 113, 103, 17. Yeah, so there's sort of... That's 19. There's nothing for our little $10,000. 130 is a big plot. Yeah. 128. 128 we could get, but can't do anything with it, so it's pointless. Yeah. I think we sell the canola. Buy the fertilizer spreader. And then we head on over and lime our fields. Just head on over. Still the zoo, right? Yeah, still the zoo. Right there. There's probably a quicker way to get there. But that involves driving through people's fields. And I am trying my best not to do that. We'll sell the canola. And then we'll buy the fertilizer spreader. And then that will probably be it for this episode, I think, guys. I'm going to try and keep the episodes to 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. But they will probably extend out to an hour. Just because that's how I work, how things happen for me. So I'll do my best. But 30 to 45 is the ideal video length that I'm going to be aiming for. And hopefully we get there with it today. Oh, beautiful. Just over 11. That's fantastic. Great start. We would have had 12 if I didn't need to upgrade the trailer, but this will actually be a good point. I don't know if I'll be able to use that fertilizer spreader. Because I don't think my tractor has the ability to. Let's just do this. I don't know if I can do it. I should be able to. Well, we'll soon find out, guys. If that's the case, then we're in a bit of trouble. Oh, if I change the colour, it's that. Never mind. Let's just buy it and we'll see. Where's our tractor? There it is. I didn't think of that when I picked this tractor. I just assumed that it would work with stuff. Hey, it does. Okay, so. Buy a lime. Fill it up. Can I fill it up? Bet you I can't. I bet you I have to lift it up. That's awful. So. Okay. I can't fill it up. This is good. This is good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat this for half a second. And I'm going to use super strength. Now, this is not going to be something I do a lot of. So we're going to have to figure out what we do. There we go. Turn off super strength again. Now we're full of lime. So that was a rookie mistake. And I also cannot get forks on the front of this tractor. So we might have to change the tractor. Or we change the fertilizer spreader. I'm not sure which one would be better or worse. I just like this one because it holds a lot of lime. It also colour matches, which is nice. So we'll get to the field. We'll do the smaller of the two. Do the smaller canola field up here. Just to see how much lime we actually are going to go through. And then offline I'll figure out a solution to that problem. I forgot that you need to lift the bags of lime and stuff into this one. If I can get a cheap old forklift, that might be the way to do it at the store. And just have that as sort of a shop forklift. But again, it can't be Alright. It can't be new. Oh, this is hefty. It's not using too much. It's got a good width on it. Alright, we're just coming back now with the lime. As you can see, I purchased another pallet just to make sure I didn't have to travel back a third time. But yes, I do not like using super strength. I don't want to do that in the future, so I'll have to figure something out. Otherwise, we're going to be a little bit stuck. So I'll do my best to find a solution. It might be changing the tractor. I feel like I've fallen into this trap with this spreader before, but for some reason I thought it was going to work and it didn't, so that's on me. We either have to get a new fertilizer spreader or lime spreader, because I don't think the row, I think the row can only do, yeah, so liquid fertilizer and herbicide. I don't think there's anything that can do lime. That, yeah, I'll have to look. I'll have to see if there's something different. Because also, where are the forklifts and stuff? Oh, they're up here, up the top. Because I don't have a vintage forklift. I do have a vintage skid steer, but that's 25 grand that we don't have at the moment. And I'm pretty sure my tractor can't, yeah, you can't put a front loader attacher on. So we might change to a different tractor, but I'll look into it and see what I can do. For the time being, I feel like we'll just leave it here. We'll drop the fertilizer spreader down. We'll unhook it. Go up, we'll park the tractor, and I will leave it there for this episode, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Comment down below anything that you think you'd like to see, or any different sort of rules. I feel like we could get rid of this cultivator, but there might be cultivating contracts. But let me know what you think. If you like the time lapses, no time lapses, would prefer just jump cuts, by all means let me know. And if you think we should do each episode is a different month, I'll gladly do that. Let me know. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Catch you later. Goodbye.